Montreal come about? You didn't. You must. I guess. Why did you leave Toronto?
Well,
How did you get to Montreal?
lots of shit. So, Toronto, and then quit tattooing a little bit, and then started tattooing, and then didn't tattoo because couldn't get a job for like a year. You know, worked, did 2 tattoos 1 year out of my house. You know, shitty stuff. Uh, and then girlfriend moved for school to Ottawa, so I followed her. Obviously broke up because that's how it goes. But had no place to go. Lived in a shitty shack in the back, like actually a garage turned into a shack, you know. And new shop was opening up around the corner. Started hanging out there, talking. Like, yeah, I got a portfolio. Yeah, I tattoo. They hired me, same shit. But at least I was paying rent. You know, you do 1 or 2, 3 tattoos a week. It was winter time. Worked there for a bit. Then went to visit friends in New York. Got a job in Brooklyn. But I had nothing. I was just visiting for a week, you know, getting drunk, tattooing in the kitchen. Fuck is the photos here? I look like I'm fucking 14. I'm tattooing in the kitchen in Brooklyn with 1 glove, on a pillow, a lineup of friends, you know, and just doing black and gray work. We had to go to a tattoo shop to get stencil paper and some Dettol because we couldn't find Dettol anywhere in Brooklyn. We're idiots. We're high on ecstasy. And of course you can't find shit. But end up going to the tattoo shop and get some stencil. They're like, what, you tattoo? And my friend's like, yeah, he fucking tattoos. He's high on ecstasy. Jumps on their counter like that high, pulls out his pant legs like, look at this. It's horrible, you know? But he's like, holy fuck, you did that? I drew it on too. And like, fuck, man, you want to start working here? I'm like, well, you know, I'm from Canada. Well, whatever. Go get your shit, come back. Went to Canada, I got my shit. It was like Christmas or something. Fucking got broken into. They stole my passport because I'm Polish. I'm not Canadian. So I need a visa. I need a passport. They stole that. They stole most of my shit. I only had my tattoo equipment because I actually had it with me. Condoms out of my fucking cupboard, beer out of the fridge, all my heavy metal magazines, all my photos. The fuck. So anyways, so I can't go anywhere for a while, you know, by the time I get a passport. This is before the internet. Still, well, I guess internet was happening, but like, you know, nobody used it. You still had to sign everything and send it. Couldn't even fax shit like that. So yeah, so spend another 6, 8 months or something like that in Ottawa working on the other version of Agitprop downtown, like Dalhousie and Rideau. There's 7 shops. So when the clients would be going like, yeah, I want that maple leaf. How much? 55. Well, the guy said 50. Okay, I'll do it for 50. Well, 45. It's like, I don't know. I was like, I'll be back. Goes to the next 7 shops. Like, what'd you do? Well, that guy said 35. Fucking go there, man. I'm like, I'm trying to fucking eat tonight, you know. So worked shit place. The place would keep getting closed by bailiff because the fucking owner was crazy Frank and he spent all the money on drugs and partying and bitches and shit. Show up on the morning, bailiff closed, padlock. Fuck, my shit's in there, you know? Gotta find some money to pay the rent, get the shit out, work for a few days. All right, everything's paid, work for another month. Show up on the first, yeah, closed again, you know? Horrible place. Everybody hated me because I worked for Crazy Frank, you know, every other Universal, the other shops. They didn't even know me, but fuck Simon because he works with Crazy Frank, you know. So,
Not like it is
yeah,
now, right? Where people are friendly.
I met my brother, you know, and he was his first time travels. He came to Canada from France, and he seen this fucking kid hustling like 9 at night or something like that in a huge shop. So I want to get tattooed by that kid, and he's busy the rest of the night. Why don't you get tattooed by this guy, the owner, like the tattooer guy? And he's like, no, by the kid. Well. They go, this guy from France wants to get tattooed by you. Look at him, like heavy duty looking dude, you know, like a little older. He wasn't grayish yet, but starting, you know, tattoos everywhere. Fuck yeah, I'll tattoo him. Tell him to come back after closing hours. His wife barely spoke English. I didn't speak any French. He's French, obviously. Tattooed him. We didn't finish. We partied the night. He invited me back to France. A few months I burnt out and other reasons, you know. Dad died and shit like that, so I had to go to Europe. Ended up visiting him in France, started working. And started visiting him regularly, you know, and we became family and brothers and stuff.
Who's that?
This is Francois Tatouage in Angers. He's at the convention. But so anyway, so that happened, and started going to Europe. I started being really happy. Some bad shit happened with my parents, with my mom, my stepdad. They needed to open up a company, you know, like a trucking company. So they convinced me to quit tattooing. I quit tattooing. Opened up a trucking company with them for a year. Hemorrhoids the size of plums, man, for that whole year. It's fucking crazy, you know. I did the computer stuff because I'm the kid, so kid knows computers, right? My dad would do the trucking part. My mom did financing. I did everything else in the warehouse, all that shit. Once I could hire people for them, 3 people that could do my job, I hired them and I'm done. I don't want any money from this company. I don't want anything. I'm sorry I'm leaving my family behind, but you guys are set. You got people to take care of this. Fucking leaving. Go to Ottawa to see Crazy Frank because he had good drugs. And I could fuck off for a while, you know? Go see him. I walk up the stairs in Ottawa and his girlfriend's throwing out shit down the stairs, yelling at him. I look at him, what the fuck's going on? Simon, what are you doing here? I haven't seen him in like a year and a half, you know? The fuck are you doing here? I'm like, well, I came to say hi and party, do some drugs. He's like, you want to go to Montreal? I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go to Montreal, you know? So we came to Montreal to party. 3 weeks later, had an apartment. Drew and painted and partied for half a year. Money ran out. Decided to open up a shitty shop on Ontario Street by everybody, artistic, all that stuff. He fucked off, so I had to paint, remodel, do everything. And that fucking little shop, the shop was the size of this room, you know, with the bathroom. The ceilings were literally like, I couldn't even jump up, you know. And did that opened it up. All these people, it's East Ontario Street. All these people are fucking walking in. They're purely Quebecois. They're not even local. Their accents are so crazy, I don't understand. I can speak a little French by then. But I don't understand this East End and fucking proper Quebecois. I'm like, fuck, man. One morning I stayed there till 3, 4, finishing setting the place up. I left. 15 minutes later, a transvestite hooker got murdered right in front of the shop, man. I come back next morning, locked off, closed. I'm like, fuck this shit. Got into a fight with Crazy Frank. I fucked up. And then hooked up with already people I met that had a shop. They were already drawing and stuff. They were kind of cool. It's West Tattooage, whatever. They're out off the island now. But they used to be St. Laurent. And hanged out with them, the same old shit that I knew for most of my career. This is like 7 years of my career. 1 tattoo a week. So that's normal shit, you know? Well, in Ottawa, I was doing already like 15 tattoos a day kind of thing. But they were all maple leaves, you know? And Tasmanian Devils and Jeff Bartel Flash. The Rock. That thing saved, you know, if he never invented the rock style, tattooing probably wouldn't have been the same like it is now. I still, every day walking on the street someplace here, some chick has a back of the dragon with the thing, you know, or the sun with the rock thing around it. That, like, you know, like this guy, I know he's rich, right? Because I know when he traveled, he got drunk one time and he traveled across Canada for 2 months. He said he got almost 200 grand. He was selling, like in a day, he could sell hundreds of flash sheets. Because he always had like a 80 set flash sheet. Oh, you know, give me $800. Or, I like you, give me 600. You fucking do that 10 times a day? And he lived in the basement with his mom when he started, supposedly, right?
It's crazy. Like, I worked at Sacred Heart when I started there. All the flash was Cool Flash. Right? Cool Flash. No one got it. No one ever tattooed Flash at Sacred Heart. They switched it up, put the Jeff Bartel shit in. Everybody tattooed Flash. The stuff was horrible.
There was no...
But it sold.
There was no regular hours in the summer in Ottawa when that happened. You know, the people just kept coming in and they would stay there the whole day waiting for their turn. 15 tattoos a day was normal. 13, you know? It was fucking nuts. I was popping pills, fucking stay alive. I had some really decent friends. Ottawa community was really cool back then. It was the end of the crazy club era. All the best DJs in the world were coming to Ottawa doing fucking 50 people clubs. Like tiny club, you had John the Dentist, Cash Money, the Executioners. Like fucking, it was nuts, man. Everybody's on drugs, the best drugs. Then Hell's Angels came in and either told everybody to fucking, either you sell for us, we take all your shit, you sell for us, or you get the fuck out of the city. Everybody left to Toronto or Montreal, no more good stuff, you know. And so it was a crazy little community. I had guys bringing me, you know, soya milk and girls would bring me sandwiches, pop a pill every few hours, trance music, blasting the same old tape, just would flip on its own, you know. And fucking Jeff Bartel, rock. And the more fucked up you were, the more cracks you put in, the crazier it looked, you know. People love that shit. The more cracks, the more tips. It's safe tattooing, man. People fucking, I paid my rent. I got fucking high. I partied. I made enough money to go to Europe. You know, I burnt out after like 3-4 months of this and I went to Europe to fuck off. So we came to Montreal after all that, like, you know, came to Montreal. So the West Tattooage, I'm making one tattoo a fucking week. They're already drawing a little bit. I heard of Tattoo Mania, you know. So I'm like, well, I need a job. Oh yeah, you would get a job at Tattoo Mania. So I go, Pierre laughed at me. Well, you know, here we draw. You know, Vincent was there from Bizeroid. He was already doing crazy shit, you know. Oh, you know, we do stuff like this. You know, Dave Cummings was working there. Stuff Paul was just starting. I was like, fuck, man, okay. They like really laughed at me. Like at least I felt like belittled. At least when you get the dog sicked on you and an old school dude saying, you know, get the fuck out of here. You know, they're like, hey, this guy wants to sell us flash. Look, we have no fucking flash. Could have fucked you. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, Rufus, get this cocksucker. And you hear from by, wah, wah, wah. Holy, all you have enough is to yell, fuck you, before you slam into the front door, you know? But this was like, and like, shit, okay, so started working on my drawings. Then went to Imigo. And the story with Safwan, who was, no matter what people say about Safwan, he was always proper, and he was always very nice, and he was educational, even if it came out whatever way you want to came out, like a little too much, a little too less, or this and that. He was setting you up, like, you know, like, yeah, you can do this, you can do that. And it fucking really hit me, you know. I went home, I didn't sleep that night. I drew a bunch of shit. I copied some, but, you know, like cheated and made it look my own. Drew couple shit, 2 half sleeves, some Chinese, Japanese stuff, some fucking flowers, and I brought it in. And he's like, oh, cool. So I thought you told me you don't draw. When did you draw this? Last night. You fucking drew this last night? Hold on a second. Dave Knight was doing a guest spot. He went to show it to Dave Knight. Dave Knight was like, who the fuck is this kid? He was like, you want a job? I'm like, well, yeah, that's why I came here. I was like, all right, come on in on Monday. I'm like, fuck, all right. Came in, started learning a lot, stuff changed. And yeah, that was like for everybody. That was 2002, right? That was fucking crazy. There was, what do you mean there's guest shops, custom shops everywhere, and there are people guesting, people coming here from France, and they're booked, and holy fuck, you know. I was already going to France, but I was going to Flash shop, to Francois' shop, you know. The money was fucking nuts. You had so much money we couldn't count anymore. It was idiotic, but it was still flash, 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 as much as you can. 12 tattoos a day, 10 tattoos a day, all that shit. But yeah, Imigo really blew my mind. Safwan started introducing me to people. He was super nice. We had a falling out because half I was an asshole, half I was tired of shit. I actually wanted to leave Montreal because I didn't like it. I broke up with another girlfriend, you know, who I thought I loved. And out of spite to somebody, I got a job with Tattoo Mania. I wasn't, because I really wanted to leave. I wanted to go to Francois, to my brothers, and stay in France. It was amazing. It's fucking France. Amsterdam's 9-hour ride away. All the drugs you could ever do. The best paintings in the world. Fuck, it's heaven for me, you know? But out of spite, I got a job at Tattoo Mania. Fuck this guy, right? Yeah, you think I was going to work at Tattoo Mania? I wasn't, but fuck it, you know? So I started working at Tattoo Mania. I told Pierre I was going to do 2 years because I really need a place to settle down. I was developing drawing. I was figuring how to design tattoos, and I was getting better. And Pierre right away was like, yeah, you want a job here? Yeah, we're a family. We hang out. And they did. They hanged out all the time. They drew. They partied. Fucking drugs, drinking, like crazy shit. Like shit that kids don't do nowadays, you know? It was a real tight band, but there was 7 of us, plus guest spots. Like people from all over Canada, people from the States, people from Europe, fucking. And the only reason I got a job at Tattoo Mania, really, because Tintin shows up at Imigo one day. Safwan runs up, oh, Tintin, how's it going? He's like, yeah. You know, Tintin had a few probably already, I don't know. But, you know, he's Tintin, he's slow and rolling in and shit. I didn't know him then, but, oh my God, Tintin. Tintin to me was the best tattooer in the world back then. Fuck Philip Lou. There was nobody that the same day could do a color portrait that kicked ass, and then freehand a fucking dragon sleeve without without scales, and then he would do the scales with the machine on. Like, who the fuck tattoos like that in 2001, 2002, you know? So Tintin shows up, and I heard about this kid, Simon, and I'm like, the door is open, I'm like, fuck, I was drunk a few days ago. Who did I fuck up, or who did I offend, or that was normal, you know? Where's his portfolio? He starts looking at my portfolio. Let's see this kid, let's see him. You know, he starts talking to him. Very good, Simon. You're very good. You're very good and silly. Starts doing that fucked up laugh of his, pats me on the back, is like, you should come visit me at Tattoo Mania, you know? So I went to visit him, we had drinks, I had this huge, like, you know, I had this little fire going, and I was so happy, and I was so excited, you know? There was Safwan, there was Dimitri showing up, and all these things, the Dave Knight, you know? All these guys showing up, and him, I go, and then suddenly Tintin shows up, and I have drinks with him, and it's like he came in with this huge fucking bunch of wood and just threw it on my fires, like, here you go, kid, fucking, let's go, let's see what you can do. And fucking, man, it just blew me away, you know? I still get excited when I think about that, you know? And I'm lucky enough to be friends with him and talk shit now, and, you know, talk shit about him too, it's funny. And, motherfucker looks like Santa Claus, you know? Like, how can you not? And, yeah, I really, that's, outside of tattoo and D telling me he's proud of me, to meeting Tintin and stuff, meeting Dave Knight and really having my mind blown about tattooing, and then Tintin still has my fire going, you know? It's fucking nuts.
Dave Knight.
Mm.
He's incredible.
Yeah, the stories that he has, like about Danny. We used to exchange stories about our teachers, and I would get slapped on the back of my head regularly. Like, you know, I'm tattooing some client, D would stand behind me, just fucking slap me, like, slap, like, fuck, man. Like, I knew I'm doing something wrong, now I gotta figure out what.
Yeah.
Like, did I line up, you know, against the grain of the skin? Did I run out of something? Did I use too much ink and it's costing him money? I gotta charge the client now because you gotta hustle. You know, with that yellow parrot you have, you know what would go really good? Purple, man. We put some purple on the back. It's only $10 more, man, but that's gonna look dope. And the clients, of course, like, yeah, I did some purple. You know, it'd go good with that purple, you know, put a little green over here. Another $10, man, it's gonna kill it. That $95 tattoo, if I brought it up to $135, that was nuts, man. Once I learned how to do that, these started paying me 5% of the tattoo price. So I would get $5 an hour, $60 a day, and then 5% of the tattoo price. So of course I want to hustle, man. When it went up to 10%, I took fucking 50 of my friends drinking that night. I made like $300 first time in my life. That was a week's pay normally, you know? But I tattooed like 15 hours and I did 15 tattoos, and Dee's wife had to interrupt me to like, did you pee yet? Oh, okay, after this color, you know, I'm like bursting, fuck. I almost pissed myself a few times. So I was afraid I'm gonna get slapped on the back of my head if I take too many pee breaks.
Let's go back to Dave Knight.
Yeah, sorry.
Tell me about Dave Knight's artistic ability.
When I met Dave, the drawings were super clean and super boring, you know, like super proper. Like mine sucked, but I thought they were a little more exciting. But just because there were a bunch of chaotic shit on there, you know. Like I try to mess up things until people don't know what they're seeing, and all right, I won. But yeah, he was so proper. He had this set of flash that was so clean and so cool, but really boring. And then when we met, I think we kind of started exchanging so much, you know. Like I gave him all, I think well, not all, but some of my excitement about like, oh, look at this painter, look at this, or try this, try new shit, try. Fuck up, let's fuck up a little bit, you know? Because Danny installed in him so much that you can't fuck up, everything has to be perfect. He fucking, if his elastics weren't perpendicular perfectly on his machine, Danny would stop him from tattooing, make him take his gloves off and fix the elastics. Like, holy fuck, man, getting slapped across the back of my head, I'd prefer that, you know? So Dave was so strict and so rigid, you know, I was like all over the place. So he started giving me like, no, man, relax. Just stop using everything. Stop just, for a month, just work with this type of needle or just with this configuration, just with this thing. And you're going to see the mistakes and which mistakes you're like, oh, wow, you know, but I'm still impatient, still fucking shit up. And he started getting excited and he started fucking shit up and I started being a little more rigid and a little more. So his artistic ability was really crazy. He's still very, you know, he's that fucking samurai, that straight cut and all that stuff, you know. I'm like, decode's gotta be made, motherfucker. Like, you know, I'm like that fucking greased up, deaf, naked guy on Family Guy, you know. You can't catch me! But Dave's amazing. I'm so lucky, you know, to see him develop over all like fucking 13 years and be part of him, and we exchange and we share, and still from time to time, he's not a big texter and stuff, but we still exchange photos of tattoos and shit. And yeah, man, he was fucked up, man. He used to, this is before digital cameras, so we used to take photos and photos of tattoos, sometimes 36 roll on one half sleeve, you know, because you could probably get 2-3 good pictures if you were fucking lucky, even with a good camera, right? And then you wait a week for because there was no 24-hour developing shit. You wait a week for the pictures to come back, and then we would sit and smoke dope and have beers, and he would put those 36 pictures in front and start ripping his hair out, how bad shit was. You know, over little things because Danny might see it, you know? Like, I was like, wow, man, it's really clean. It's a really interesting tattoo. Like, you know, I didn't understand this shit yet at all. I was fucking shit. I was getting the stuff that Safwan didn't want to do, Pick didn't want to do, and Dave didn't want to do, you know? And so I was fucking shit up, doing horrible cover-ups and fucking. I didn't even want to take pictures of some shit. And Dave made me start taking pictures. So you forget, you know, the one day of not sleeping, of fucking a client up. You can't sleep and you're all screwed up. And then you slowly forget. But then you get that rollback a week later and you shit yourself on the sofa like, holy fuck. And this guy's local. I got to see him. I get coffee in his coffee shop. Man, I fucked up his cover-up so bad you can't cover this shit up anymore. Like laser and amputation. And sometimes I thought Safwan gave it to me on purpose and laughed, you know. And so yeah, Dave really set me like on the straight and narrow, and after that told me like, and now it's your choice. Like, you can stray, you can fuck up, find your way, but this is like really showed me like, you know, that light in the tunnel kind of stuff. Yeah, he's huge. He's still my favorite, pound for pound, best tattooer in the skin in Canada for sure, man. You know?
You're his favorite.
Yeah, well,
We had a good interview.
I bought him a lot of drinks.